Good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning, Deborah Leanne. Cheers to
Um,
you.
Absolutely. I I am loving this gene key, and this is gene key 3, which to me feels as chaotic as it is, because it's chaos to innocence through the gift of innovation. It just feels lighter and it is playful for me. But man, we got to start in the ugliness of the chaos, or however we define the feelings of sitting in chaos. And whether we're talking about external chaos or internal chaos, we'll probably talk about both, right? So
Yeah, this is a gene key. This is written, Deborah and I are talking about gene keys, which is written by Richard Rudd. And this is the third gene key.
and if
And it's called Through the Eyes of a Child.
uh, so love it. And the if you go to genekeys.com, you can get a free profile. And I felt very strongly this morning when I first woke up, um, that I wanted to talk about the main points of the profile, of everyone's individual profile. And then I want to see if we can play with what the chaos is or what the innocence is within that. So basically, we talk, and we don't have to know what your gene keys are if you don't know what your life's work is and your purpose. But if you think about that rod that runs through your being, it's I was born to have this life, right? This is my life's work. And purpose is grounded into us. Sometimes it takes us a while to get there in our journey through life, but once we get these two in alignment, boom, is how we show up. This is our cross of evolution, which means this is our breakthrough thing. This is what we have to work on to get to our wholeness and our fullness. And once we get there, we radiate these gifts, right? And Suzanne and I have been playing with this because we know in the last however many years we've been buddies, but how this alignment has totally shifted who we are in the world. So when you're in the space of accepting, this is my life's work, I'm grounded in purpose. Oh, yeah, I've got this evolutionary change thing going on, but this is what's going to light me up and be my best person showing up in the world. That is what can be chaotic, or it can be extremely innovative, which gets us to the innocence of just being in play with all of who we are and what we're here to do. So anyway, that was my morning contemplation. I just wanted
Oh,
to
that was
share
really
that.
good.
So it's funny because the other day when we got on together, I was in a pretty crunchy, not too I don't know. I mean, I guess I want to just say I was pretty grumbly and irritated, and I don't know, in a darker space, and working through. I didn't even know what I was working through, but I just knew that there was a lot moving through, and it wasn't comfortable. And so today I'm showing up, and I'm like, woo! And Suzanne's like, yeah,
Not that I'm grumbly, I'm on a lower key today.
you're not a grumbly person, but
No.
the difference is what I want to show is as life continues to um, be lived through us, right? We are the dancer of life. And so when we experience different storms or earthquakes or whatever, how how are we gentle with ourselves? And how do we reach out for support? Because I feel like that's what you gave me by the
Mm.
end of our time together. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm not dying in this moment. I mean, I am dying. We're all dying. But, I could get beyond that heaviness. So, how do you want to talk about chaos today? Because I feel like We could spend hours talking about chaos and the evolution that's coming at this time, which is why it feels very chaotic.
Um, yeah, it's interesting when Richard talks about this in the 64 ways. He talks about it being like the encompassing of all the I Ching.
Yeah, because it's about the book of change, right?
Yeah, it's about the book of change. And so this is about the difficulty at the very beginning of life, and it's chaotic and it looks like it has no order whatsoever, and things are developing and yeah, it's a little
Do you
and
think it's because we're trying to control it?
well, I think that part is too, but I think that nature in itself is chaotic. I mean, think about like volcanoes and like, it just earthquakes, it's shaking things up within its being to turn into something else. So we will always have this change. The question is whether or not we get out of the way and just allow life to live through us.
Right, without trying to manage it, right? And I feel like very often when something used to come up, I've gotten so much better, but I'm still not there. But when something used to come up, I'm like, oh, I have to take care of that. It is not my job to take care of a lot of even what you're feeling. I can hold it with you.
Right.
It's not my job to make you feel something differently. And I used to go
Exactly.
into trainings and retreats and coaching sessions thinking, oh, I want them to get here. Well, I might want them. I might want my beautiful, loving clients to get there, and they always showed up. And in the first 5 minutes when we did the check-in, it would be a completely different, okay, I really don't know anything. Just see where we are.
Well, it's a total experiment anyways, however we show up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
And this key is the programming partner of this key is the 50th key, which I think we've spoken about this one. It's moving from corruption to equilibrium to harmony. So if you think about chaos and corruption, I mean, it's like the corruption of a
right, our mental structure.
mental structure, right?
Mhm.
Eventually, when we talk about this key in its acidic state, it's going to be talking about moving from our heads in the mental realm down into our solar plexus and into the emotional wisdom. But until then, you'll find these two different states at polar opposite ends when you look at chaos. So, repressive nature of chaos, it says it right in its word. It's anal. It's trying to suffer from some sense of an anal retention, and like you can even feel the tightness with people when they feel
Mm.
like they don't want, they're trying to hold on to something, um, and they're trying to protect themselves and hold on to something, right?
Right.
So that's the repressive nature. The reactive nature is very disordered, it's very chaotic, it's it's when somebody doesn't honor like their full power, and they have a lot of anger because they feel as though I don't know, it comes out as
Do they feel like a
aggression.
victim? I was going to say, do they feel like
Right.
they're kind of at the
Right.
whim of the world and I don't have a choice in this? And I don't
Right.
know. That's what it
It's a
feels like to me. But
it's a form of, I mean, it's anarchy. It's just like expression of that chaos that causes quite a bit of destruction because it's not organized. It's
it's like a loose wire. It's like an ungrounded wire, if you want to call it that. And that makes sense to me. I wasn't sure how it was going to show up as the reactive, but I
yeah.
know I've been there.
Hmm.
Yes, I have.
But from that state we can move to that gift, which is the end island of what he calls the end of island mentality. because you're conscious of those changes, and you can kind of see all of it for what it is.
But it's because you don't have to. Is this when you start going, I can't do this alone? Is
Right.
the island part that
Yeah.
I think for a long time we try to manage chaos in our lives, and we just think, I know best. Nobody else is going to know how to tell me how to fix this. Or we only ask everybody else for their opinions and we don't take our own wisdom. So I think that's kind of the two different ways of doing it. But the managing it is just going to get you deeper into the spiral of the storm versus
Right.
dropping in and going, oh, this is pretty juicy. Like we have had, it's springtime here. Every day it's a new day. Every day I go out in my garden and walk around and I'm like, oh, the geraniums are blooming. Oh, the da da da. Oh, those tulips are gone. They lost their blooms over the night or whatever. So I mean, it's like a new day every day. But when the winds of change come through, I'm always so appreciative because I'm like, oh, new weather pattern. Oh, wonder what's coming next. Oh, I can. And so I'm learning to appreciate that. But when we lived on the ocean, I hated the wind. It was constant and furious and in my face and messing up my hair. Finally got it short so it wasn't like a frizz bomb all the time. But it was really intense to live around that much wind. And I thought, why did you fight it? It's such a beautiful thing. So anyway, I'm laughing because I can see how I'm still not there, but how there's been openings and awakenings and awarenesses. When chaos shows up for you, I'm asking everybody who's listening, when chaos shows up for you, what does your body do? What does your mind, what stories does your mind tell? Um, do you want to take a gander at that?
All I
Yeah.
can think is all I can think is whirling dervish. Like it just I mean, I've been there multiple times in my life where I felt like I had no control. And um and there's really not much you can do when you're in that state other than knowing that consciously, as you shift your consciousness to consciously recognize, oh, I'm in this. Huh, take a look around.
Yeah.
And watch it. I mean, it's about seeing, honestly, seeing your own patterns. And I mean, you can't change anything outside of yourself. All you can do, and that's where the innovation happens, is when you can see yourself and and acknowledge your initial programming.
When
So for instance, yeah,
yeah.
I'm pointing at myself when I do that. So, when we were talking about the grounding or the incarnation cross that Deborah was talking about at the beginning, the initial programming that we have had and our family's programming, God bless them, and our lineage, God bless all our ancestors, God love you. Once we can acknowledge those patterns within ourselves, I think we can shatter that illusion. But I think it's built into us to acknowledge those and see those and transform them.
Yeah. So, and one of the things is this forces us almost to stop, right? Because we can't keep going because it's like we're getting buffeted by the storm or whatever of the chaos. But also, I just remember you've been on a high speed train where you're going like, 120 miles an hour or whatever, or even faster. And I tried one time because one of the things I love about train travel is to sit and look out the window. It is dizzying. You can't, it's like, and I just like So it forces you to slow down and go, oh, this is what's here right now. That isn't staying or lasting. It's moving by so quickly. Can I stop? Actually, for me, I have to close my eyes to look within. And then it's like, oh, this is where the innovation. So then we can segue, if you're ready, into
Mhm.
the gift, because this is when we're like, oh man, this is juicy. What can I do with this next hour? I'm going to be on this high speed train and I can't look out the window. I have this time to, what do I want to create? So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's it really is at the heart of creation, and we're all creators. And so it's a matter of understanding that power that's within us. And with innovation, of course, you spoke about the fact that innovation is optimistic. It bubbles and thrives in community, because unity creates efficiency. So of course, in innovation, it's going to become efficient, because the more we can work together on these patterns and see it within ourselves, and share it and vocalize it, that's how we integrate and synthesize information very quickly. And so it's a beautiful built-in mechanism within ourselves.
yeah. And it's like the universe, which is continuing to expand, and our cells and our body, which continue to grow and evolve and change, and react to the circumstances, right? Like, oh, I need to, oh, well, look at this happened. This got introduced. Well, what are we going to do about that? Are we going to fight it? Are we going to allow it? Are we going to welcome it in? So, I mean, it's like this. And when he spoke to, I love listening to Richard's oral transmissions when he does the in the 64 ways, but in the listening to this gene key, he talks about a cancer cell, and that cancer is another way that our body is evolving. And we're like, and we have to sometimes learn from messing up, right? We know that you learn a lot by making mistakes. In fact, if you talk to any scientists that are doing experiments, they have so many failed experiments until they
Yeah.
have that breakthrough. And that's why this can feel very daunting, is like, well, that didn't work. Well, that didn't work. And then failure shows up. And then, what all the stuff that goes into that, which for me, a big one is fear of judgment or fear of rejection or any of those other things, which keeps us going, well, I'm just going to do the safe thing, which is innovation. I know. And then it brings me, and then what I'm learning is that throws me right back into chaos. So guess what? Okay, just keep taking a step forward, going, okay, we're making this up as we go along. And I remember a smart, brilliant mentor telling me that one time, that, really it's just a game. Life's a game and we're making it up every day. And I'm like, there's no answers. Like there's no
Well,
rules. There's
and
no.
it's really funny, because then it throws us into chaos, because we're like, whoa, whoa, like there's no sure thing. What? Are you kidding me? Who's in control here? I don't know. Like,
Supposed to be captaining this ship. I want to feel certain that I'm safe. No, there's no certainty. And when she said that to me, I remember thinking, why did I spend all this money to spend with you and learn that? So now I'm going, oh, 30 years later, it's kind of sinking in.
well, and that's the funniest part about this whole thing, is that we don't take it too seriously. And as adults, I think we have the hardest time, because we've forgotten how to play, and we have had life dictate to us all these circumstances, and then we put all these rules and regulations on ourselves, and this is how it should look, and blah blah blah, blah. And so really, when you get to the innovation part, and and feel open-hearted and curious and open-minded, that is when everything starts to click, and your innate abilities as wonderment and play begin to surface and bubble, and you have enormous fun because you trust life. Who knows? Oh my goodness.
And sometimes that's why I actually pay people to do a painting retreat like I am this weekend, because and you're such a great model of play, sacred play, all forms of play, lightheartedness. And you know,
Mm,
I tend to like, no, that's frivolous and I don't have time for that. However,
this is
when
where the ideas come,
I
right?
know, and I'm so delighted because the reason why I paid for this retreat is she's weaving in a lot of spiritual practices into. So I want to be able to learn how to have that creative play, of course, because it has purpose, as opposed to just doing it for play. But
Right.
maybe someday, I mean, it's a step. Let's just celebrate that I'm going in the right direction, hopefully. So, so let's, are we, I want to play a little bit because we're starting to touch into the innocence.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought really hit home is there is the innocence is bliss thing, and there is the children's ignorance of innocence. I mean, ignorant kind of innocence, which is like, I really don't know what's going on in the world. I don't know about the
Right.
wars. I don't
Right.
care, because
Right.
life is good.
Right.
And that's one form. But as we are adults now, how do we reclaim a different form of innocence where we get a chance to return to that space of allowing life to be the amazing thing it is, and playing with it.
Yeah. It's that, I think that feeling of, it is a game. And so why don't we experiment? It's the epic exploration of our consciousness. It's multifaceted. Oh my gosh. And we don't know what kind of ride we're going to be on. I always giggle when I think about the roller coaster, I have a roller coaster meme stuck in my head where, somebody's going down the roller coaster and there's some people holding on like, ah, and some people are like, ah, like, so, I mean, and some people are like, oh. We're all at different places of um, our threshold of
Of
what,
appreciation of that crazy free falling experience. I love
right.
roller coasters, but I know one of my favorite things is to get those photos where they capture the family photo as you're
Yeah.
going down the wall, and it's like everything, like you said. I love it, but it is, for me, I feel completely out of control, and I don't have to control, and it's like, for some reason, it's so fun. I just stop holding on with intensity like I can do anything. Like that's going to make any difference, you
Right.
know?
So it's a matter of reframing how we look at ourselves, and even um, even the elders among us that are still walking on this earth, we are all innocent children walking on this earth. We are here exploring this, and no matter number of years that we've been on this planet, we're still those children. So
So this is the mudra.
ooh, I love it. I've been doing this a lot lately and didn't know that.
Well,
Wow.
and it's interesting because can my heart be soft and open and innocent? And this
Mm,
is another way of noticing when our body is feeling chaos, is where is there constriction? What do we need to breathe into? What do we need to open? What do we need to soften? And we've talked about constriction. We've talked about, chaos. We've talked about so many different forms that are all part of that ring of humanity, or the ring of life and death. And they're
mm,
all, this life and death one is just, it gets into the heart of it, doesn't it? So
yeah.
I like to play with it here and then down on my belly,
Yeah.
but you can also do it here, like an innocent mind. Because my mind can tell all kinds of stories. I can get my body into innocence much more easily than I can get this. I'm just going to put a hat on. It looks like a party hat,
It
or like
is a party
a cap,
hat.
whichever we used to call it, or the magician's cap.
Yeah.
That would be that cone.
Yeah.
Oh,
What it really comes down to in this innocence is the all-encompassing love of that everything that we are. We aren't this body. I mean, we use this vehicle, right?
yeah.
But we are the divine essence of the manifestation of life itself, which is beyond this.
Yeah.
And so we're just remembering that innocence of who we are, each one of us, as you come into contact with everybody this week.
Yes. Playing with when somebody says something about the world being chaotic, see if we can't reframe in that moment. And this is helping us to learn to evolve, to move into.
Put on your party hat.
And then there's also put on your party hat. But how can we? Because I know I can start telling myself stories about, oh, that world going to hell in a handbasket. So, thank you.
Today I'm feeling a card just because for fun.
Okay, don't look like a
Funsies.
card, but
Funsies. We're going to be doing the Affirmators today because who doesn't need a
well,
bunny rabbit?
I like unicorn riding bunnies
I
personally.
know. What do we need to know today? Top, middle, or bottom?
Bottom.
All right, here we go. Ooh, maybe this comes back down to this concept of oneness, or who we're partnered with, because it is about ideal partnership. And I don't know if you can read this. It says, ideal partnership. I'm a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with a true match. My ideal partnership and working relationships are easy and free flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. It
The image.
takes, it
What?
takes, huh?
What's the image? The picture?
It's a bottle of Merlot paired with some cheese.
Well, that's a good partnership. So,
I know. Right. So I was just thinking about unity and efficiency, cooperation and innovation. That's how we synthesize all this new information, and what comes through each one of us is really beautiful. And so I
yeah,
honor you. I'm excited to play in this key this week.
yeah, it's going to be a good one. So playing is the key, literally. But the other thing is to really feel into when we feel the chaos taking over our system, and finding a way to create it with it, finding a way to use that energy for innovation. So,
Ooh, this is also related to your navel. So maybe put your
oh,
hands on your navel
okay.
and
Okay.
kind of feel grounded in yourself.
I love that. Okay. Well, belly's a big things for me these days. So, okay. Well, thank you. And I look forward to playing this week, and till our next time together, everyone.
Much love.
Take good care.